Have you ever wondered whether someone is lying to you? Maybe they have tells like fidgeting or biting their lips or shifting their gaze, but you just can't put your finger on it. Well, today we are joined by someone who's considered a human lie detector. Yes, you heard us right, a human lie detector. Lizette Volkwyn is a highly trained specialist who can sniff out the smallest lie, and she joins us now live from Kempton Park. Lizette, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. A human lie detector, I mean, that's quite a title to have, and one that one doesn't come across very often. Tell us about your journey and how you got to be called a human lie detector.
Well, originally I started off, I was always in corporate environments, and I was over 25 years in the corporate environments. And then about 12 years ago, I decided to become a life coach, which obviously I went through the credentials of becoming a master life coach, master NLP practitioner, etc. And I wrote a book, etc. And then about 2 years on my coaching career, I realized everybody lies. And I wanted to get a shortcut to get as quickly as possible to detect whether it's a truth or a lie. And then I've done research and I got to hold of Dr. Paul Ekman Academy. And I went there in Manchester in the UK. And I've been qualified as a human lie detector, or more scientifically, a truth and credibility consultant, as well as a micro-expressionist.
Goodness me, micro-expressionist. Now that must come in very handy, especially after we've come through 2 or so years of all wearing masks. That must have made your job even more interesting. You say you're qualified. Can you tell us more about the training that you've had to go through to be able to carry all of those titles?
Yes, definitely. So first of all, you do obviously your theory over a period of 6 months. Then you enroll and qualify for that to be invited for your practical. And then you go over to the UK and you do a 3-week practical, literally 7 to 7. And they teach you in depth and on practical ways of how to collect the information to understand the truth and credibility, what we reveal through our subconscious mind.
And I suppose intuition has got a lot to do with it as well. You've been trained with certain skills of what to look out for, but you can't really be trained for a certain intuition, which you probably had naturally to begin with. Some people are sitting there watching this now saying, okay, get on with it. Tell us what are some of the little things that we can look out for if we're trying to figure out if somebody is telling us a lie, or fib, I suppose some people would prefer to call it.
Yeah, that's a safer way, obviously, to call it a fib. But if you look at the different tells, our subconscious mind do not allow us to lie. So the moment we start lying, it shows in a physical way to say, I'm in conflict with what you are saying, i.e. my micro-expression. So if I would say, I'm very happy to be on eNCA, but if I don't really smile properly or I change my tone of voice, that's a tell which I need to look at to see whether you are lying or not. We have a little gland right here below our nose with our nose and lips connect. And the moment we start lying, that nose starts itching. But I have to tell you, you can't just go by 1 or 2 signs. There are so vast categories which we are looking at when we detect these lies.
And I suppose depending on the project that you're working on or the case that you've been brought in on, you probably get to know your case study a little bit more, and that will give you an idea. I mean, it's not often just you being brought in for a 5-minute speed date and now you must tell us whether this person is lying or not. Can you give us an idea of what kind of circumstances you get hired on?
Absolutely, and you're so right about this. You know, you need at least a 30-minute to a 40-minute creating a baseline of this person or subject's way of speaking, his conversation, etc. And then only you can start see when he's deviating or not. But obviously, there's a few tells which immediately just blow up in his face when he's trying to hide it. So it will be hot tells. But in a normal scenario, companies do hire me in for their high-ticket appointments. I sit in that interview. Halfway through, we would take a break. I would say, please focus on this question or that question. And then we will come back with the interviewee, and then we will ask those questions more in depth. And again, I will focus on the reactions and what they are saying. And from there on, after the conversation and the interview has been concluded, I will make a recommendation according to my findings of what was truthful or not. And I must say, we saved a few few rands for a few companies already by just doing that.
I was chatting to one of our producers before we went on air, and she was saying she was looking for visuals perhaps that would go with this interview. And when she was on the internet, and she's Googling various things to do with the work that you do, and the only videos and pictures that came up, if you put in human lie detector, is pictures of politicians, which I thought was quite apt. Do you think our approach to lying has changed as a society? I mean, it's a very deep question I'm asking you now, and you can answer it however way you feel comfortable in answering it. Do we have a looser relationship with truth and lies than perhaps generations have gone by? And have we lost our innocence where we always believe somebody, we used to always believe their word, you know, if they give you a word. And these days we have to be a little bit more circumspect when dealing with people.
Oh, for sure. And I'm going to put my coaching hat on in this scenario. You know, unfortunately, the world has become so fake, if I can call that word. And it's not really the fakeness about it. But what we have come, we've been under pressure so much to perform according to society's demands. And also it must be better and quicker and faster than yesterday. So we are a lot more lenient towards people who are going to the imposter mode, etc., because we know the pressure everyone is under. But unfortunately, it doesn't allow you to really just go into lying. And everybody's going a lot softer on them. We should go a lot harder on it because we have to stick to our core values and not just accept society's abruption of the truth.
Okay, we're going to leave it there. What fascinating work you do. Thank you so much for sharing with us. That's Lizette Volkwyn telling us about her job as a human lie detector. I suppose in our business, in the news media, we could do with a few people like that.